Welcome back, traveler. Tonight the stars dim themselves in reverence. Across the spiral arms of the galaxy, worlds pause to honor an old Earth tradition that refused to die. They call it Samhain. The night when the veil between the living and the remembered grows thin enough to breathe through. Even out here, among alien suns, some still remember. Astral Weaver remembers. She has not stopped moving since she left the ruins of her homeworld, but this night she chooses stillness. The Nebula Nomad rests beneath the violet sky of a distant world claimed by the alien demons. She trusts them, not with her life but with her silence. Their hum in her mind feels like kinship, a chorus without judgment. The alien demon king allows her to stay. No words, no ceremony. Just a nod, and suddenly the air changes. The hive gathers in circles of light. No candles, no fires, only pulses of living starlight beating in rhythm with the planet's magnetic heart. Each pulse a memory, each memory a name. Astral watches, the glow reflecting in her eyes. For once she does not feel like a fugitive. She feels small, and that's a comfort. Stardust hovers beside her, resonating with the hum of the hive. His colors shift, each tone harmonizing with the king's aura until even Astral can feel it. Unity, not through words but through understanding. The alien demons do not mourn. They remember. And in remembering they celebrate. Astral whispers to herself that this is what home must have felt like before the collapse, before the running. She doesn't light a fire. She doesn't chant. She simply breathes in the rhythm of the hive and lets it carry her. Stardust flutters higher, absorbed into the great psychic pulse of the alien demon king. Astral feels the echo in her bones. It is not magic. Not yet. It is something deeper. Something older than even the stars. Tonight, traveler, the witch among stars rests among her kin. The veil thins, the galaxies remember, and even the hunted find peace. But peace as ever is fragile. Because not every spirit that walks through the veil comes seeking comfort. Some come with purpose. And one of them is already on his way. The alien demon world breathes like a sleeping beast. The night hums with color, violet mist curling through the air, embers rising from unseen fires. Astral Weaver sits among the alien demons, surrounded by rhythm and light. It is Samhain, the night where barriers fade and spirits walk beside the living. The hive sings low and ancient, their language somewhere between sound and thought. Stardust floats at the center of it all, glowing with a warmth rarely seen. For once, Astral feels still, like maybe she belongs. Then the frost comes. It starts as a whisper, a sharpness crawling across the soil. The hum of the hive falters, lights dim, and the alien demons turn their heads toward the horizon. A white glow cuts through the mist. A cold that doesn't belong here. Orion Coldshot Walker has arrived. His ship lands in silence. The ramp drops. The air freezes. Astral's peace shatters. She stands, the old instinct rising faster than reason. Without a word, her hands blaze with starlight and she fires. Eldritch Sparkle Blast. The shot bursts through the night, shimmering, wild, desperate, but it never reaches him. Orion's blaster hums once, a flash of blue-white frost, and the attack crystallizes midair, suspended between them like shattered glass caught in time. Astral shouts that he's not welcome here. Orion tells her he didn't come for her. His tone cuts through the cold, steady, tired, but edged with something real. The alien demon king rises. No words, no threat, just presence. The hive goes silent. Stardust stops glowing. Even the frost fades. The king looks between Astral and Orion, and the message is clear. Not tonight. Astral breathes hard, magic still glowing faintly in her palms. Orion holsters his weapon. The silence stretches until it becomes peace again. They sit apart but within the same circle of firelight. The hive resumes its song, low and resonant. Astral glares at him, refusing to speak first. Orion smirks because of course she won't. Finally, Astral asks him what he wants. Orion tells her he's here for Samhain too, says even bounty hunters can have ghosts to remember. Astral doesn't buy it. She asks if the council sent him. Orion laughs, says the council doesn't tell him where to mourn. The conversation turns sharper and then quieter. She admits she doesn't know why she's worth hunting. He tells her that's exactly why she's dangerous, because the council doesn't chase people without reason. When Astral offers him the cost of her bounty, the whole hive shifts. It's not insult, it's surprise. The alien demon king watches, motionless as she opens a case of bright credits, their light reflecting in Orion's cold eyes. He tells her he'll take it. But catching her would have been easier. She tells him it doesn't have to be like that, that she could pay him more to stay close, to protect her instead. For a moment, his expression softens, like maybe he almost considers it. But then the cold returns. "I work better alone," he finally said. The hive begins its final chant, a sound that feels like memory. Stardust and the king exchange a look that's more than words. Something ancient passes between them, recognition born of deep time. Astral watches, unsure what she's witnessing. Orion turns to set up camp for the night and offers for Astral to join him, stating that it would be nice to have the company of another human for the night. Hesitantly, Astral joins. She sits back beside Stardust, her thoughts heavy with questions she's not ready to face. And as the alien demons dance beneath a sky older than the stars themselves, the galaxy watches, waiting for what comes next. Later that night, the alien demons drift into stillness, their minds linked in quiet communion. Samhain, in its truest form, is not about fear or death. It is about memory, the keeping of ghosts. Astral Weaver sits by the last flicker of flame, Stardust coiled beside her like a silver shadow. Across the camp, Orion Coldshot Walker leans against a jagged obsidian stone, his blaster resting across his knees. The frost around him hasn't fully faded. For a long time they don't speak. Then Astral breaks the silence. She asks him how many people he's hunted. He tells her he doesn't count, that it helps him sleep. But Stardust knows that's not true. His pulse quickens ever so slightly, a rhythm only the stars would notice. Astral presses further, asks if he ever wonders what happens to the ones he brings in. Orion says wondering doesn't change the pay. Astral says maybe it changes the person. He gives her a look, not anger, not pride, just the kind of look that means you wouldn't understand. But Astral does understand, more than he expects, because being hunted isn't so different from hunting. Both are just ways of surviving under someone else's rules. The fire snaps. Stardust lifts his head, sensing the shift. Astral asks why he does it, why the council. Orion hesitates, says it started as survival. Says Captain Cooper found him half dead on a frozen moon, gave him a name, a weapon, a reason to keep breathing. Astral hears respect in his voice when he says Cooper's name, but also something colder. Obligation. She tells him that's not loyalty, that's debt. He says sometimes they're the same thing. The alien demon king watches from afar, his gaze unreadable. Stardust and the king share another silent moment, an exchange so old it predates both of them. Astral doesn't notice. She's too busy watching Orion. The frost around him begins to soften, his usual calm cracking under the heat of her curiosity. She tells him he doesn't seem like the kind who enjoys this life. Orion laughs once, bitterly, says enjoyment isn't part of the deal. Astral stands, walks closer. Her glow catches on the edges of his armor, reflecting galaxies in the ice. She tells him he doesn't have to keep playing their game. He says the game doesn't end just because she wants it to. For a moment they are silent again. Two pieces from different puzzles forced to share the same table. The alien demon song rises behind them, a melody of connection and endings. Astral finally tells him she hates it, the running, the hiding, the not knowing what she's done. Orion tells her that not knowing might be her only mercy. She asks what he means. He says nothing, just looks at her, eyes sharp, full of something like pity. The silence between them grows heavy, not uncomfortable, just full. Then Orion does something strange. He unholsters his blaster and sets it beside her. Says she can hold it if she wants. She picks it up, surprised by the cold weight. It hums faintly, alive, restrained. She asks what it's made of. He tells her the same frost that coats dying stars. She laughs softly, says that's poetic for someone who pretends not to feel. He tells her she wouldn't like what he feels. Astral stares at the weapon, then at him. Says maybe she would. He looks away. The fire between them flickers higher for a brief second, and for that moment, the frost recedes. When dawn comes, Orion is gone. His footprints are already fading into the ash. But he's left something behind, a fragment of cryocrystal, marked with a symbol she doesn't recognize. Astral tucks it away. Stardust hums low, uneasy. The alien demon king approaches her, silent, towering, yet almost gentle. He tells her, not in words but through thought, that cold things are not always cruel. Astral looks to the horizon where Orion's ship had been. The frost still lingers faintly in the morning air, and for the first time she doesn't know if she fears him or misses him. And somewhere, quietly, something in Orion began to thaw.